everybody, and welcome to tonight's Celebrity Creator Show. We are so excited about our guest. But before we get started, I want to tell you a little bit about my friend, my co-host, co-creator of the Celebrity Creators, formerly Internet Citadel Show. For those of you who have been around watching us for a while, I want to tell you about Brian Kelly. Brian has been a software engineer for over 24 years. In addition to that, he was also co-owner and co-creator of a multi-level marketing company for 6.5 years. In addition to that, Brian is a very avid affiliate marketer. He has several affiliate programs under his belt and still works some of those programs today very successfully. And in addition to that, he also put together this beautiful new site that you see here. Brian, thank you so much. I love the red. Here I am wearing purple, but it's just beautiful. And also the technology that you see. He's kind of the man over there with the controls, so he's the wizard behind the curtain. Brian is also working on a book right now that he's getting ready to self-publish, and also a speaker and very well adept at social media. He does many, many other things that I would love to share with you, but I want to wait until tell it to you next week too, so that we leave a little bit of mystery there. Brian, I'm going to turn the show back over to you because I'm excited to get started tonight.
Gosh darn you. Thank you so much. That was great. You're going to get me all blushy over here. All right, my turn. I'd like to introduce everybody to Kathy Stover. She is literally the glue that holds this show together. Without her, this show would not go on. She's got incredible background, which I'd like to briefly go over with you. Operations manager and sales manager experience spanning over 25 years with a Fortune 500 company. She is an avid affiliate marketer, far more than I am, because she can sell almost anything to almost anyone. And I affectionately call her the affiliate marketing queen because she is truly that good. She's got network marketing experience dating back to the mid-'80s, and so you can see there's sales, there's marketing. You can see kind of a flow going here, if you will. Very, very talented individual. Very successful, especially recently in the social media arena. Very good at coaching folks and setting up their social media accounts and actually managing them to a certain extent to where their business gets a lot more exposure and it grows and their income grows. I've seen it happen. She's absolutely phenomenal at it. So if you need social media assistance in any way or just assistance to your business, she will do it through social media and other avenues. Contact Kathy. We have a contact us link on this page on celebritycreators.com, and just say, hey Kathy, I'm interested. Tell me what you got. She's also an author working on a book with yours truly. We're doing a joint project working on a book, and it's going to be, maybe centered around celebrity creators. I don't know, maybe just thinking. She's also a speaker, and these last two are really great. And many people may not realize just what it takes to attain these accreditations, but she is a power seller on eBay, which means she has sold a lot of stuff on eBay. That's putting it very, very succinctly. And she's also a top-rated seller on eBay, which means that the folks that buy from her are really, really, really pleased, not only with the product she sells to them, but the manner in which they receive it, on a timely manner, the shipping, any type of feedback or support that they need. So that's the type of individual I work with every day. I'm a lucky guy. What can I say? Kathy, I'm going to throw it back to you, and let's get started with our great, great guest.
I kind of like it when you go first, because then I know, what kind of extra artillery I need to pull out on you. Yes, I am so excited about our guest, and I know you are as well. Before I read his bio, I just have to share this little bit. You never know in life, right, where you're going to meet people. We actually met this guy at an event. Yeah. But not in the event. We met him in line at Subway. I mean, we just started talking to him. So, you never know. The guy I want to tell you about is John Limbocker. He's the founder and CEO of Limbo Vision Incorporated. Limbo Vision is responsible for over 100 million in increased online sales for its commercial clients through natural SEO techniques. I'm telling you what, does he know his stuff? Yes. In an effort to break away from the norm and share the internet marketer lifestyle, John has developed an online training program to teach webmasters and website owners all of his tricks He's going to sell some tonight, guys, or share some tonight. And his new SEO Dominator Club that he's got. John lives and works inside a beautiful tropical estuary he has created and calls home in sunny Huntington Beach, California. It's awesome down there. He doesn't know the actual date that he started his web career. In fact, we were talking to him about a little bit ago, and something about 15 years, but he recalls it being in the mid-90s, prior to Yahoo. Do some of you remember that? In the days when having a top listing on Alta Vista was big news. Gosh, I think I kind of remember some of that, John. John's early days involved teaching others how to get top listings for their businesses in the major search engines of the day. And so that was a little while ago. John was invited to speak at many different events and venues, from computer user groups to Pepperdine University. But it was clear that they simply wanted SEO done for them. This altered John's cause and sent him down the path of offering commercial SEO services. It was then that he disappeared from the public eye and went underground, developing SEO techniques for his clients that are still followed by today's gurus. Lucky for us, he has once again surfaced and is willing to openly share his SEO traffic secrets with all of us. How great is that? On a personal note, John is a Pisces and fittingly revolves his life around the sea. If you can, well, when we show him, you're going to see this big fish he's got behind him. He likes boats, fishing, seafood, sushi, and all of it involves the ocean, and that's where you'll find him. For the past year, John has been openly available to all of his SEO Dominator Club members, as he hosts a weekly conference call to keep them all informed and answers any questions as they arise. And I have to tell you, he does so even when you're in line at Subway, like he did for us. So without further ado, we would like to introduce and welcome John Limbocker to our show. Welcome, John.
Hey, John.
Well, thank you. Hello, everybody. Really happy to be here.
So nice to have you.
I guess you see the fish behind me.
Yeah, there's fish, yes.
And yeah, talking about the ocean, I just got off of our first SEO Dominators cruise, and it was kind of an interesting thing. It was called the Cruise to Nowhere. We just got a bunch of our members together, and we went out, and it was a party cruise one night, overnight, and we just had a blast. Spent the night on the water.
Now that's my idea of working, you know, going out on a cruise ship for a day, enjoying and networking with someone with your prowess and your knowledge and background. Sign me up. Yes. I'm ready. Let's go. Well, the topic of tonight's show is leveraging video for search engine traffic and increased conversion. And we are talking with literally an SEO expert. This is a guy that neither Kathy nor I had heard of until we went to Subway. During an event, we took a lunch break. He was at the same event. We had seen him sitting nearby. We just ended up standing right behind him in Subway and we struck up conversation. And little did we know what kind of person we were talking to in the very beginning. And we're very excited to have John on, because this goes right down Kathy and my alley as far as how to get your website seen by more people on the internet. That's basically what all this boils down to. And tonight we're going to concentrate primarily on the video aspect of it, because talking with John, well, we'll go through this as we talk tonight. Video is a very, very key element these days in SEO. So, John, let's get going. Now, what would you say are the best uses of video?
Well, I would say if we could break it down to three, I would say number one would be for building your mailing list. That would be using video on your opt-in boxes. It's a really strong way to have a good call to action and get people on your mailing list. So that would be number one. Doesn't have anything to do with SEO yet, but SEO is where it's all going to wind up. Number two would be increasing sales on a sales page. Because again, people are tired of the old, written word. You got these sales pages that are a mile long and they never get to the end of them. Everybody's so sick of that. Video just brought a new breath to that whole thing. So, and again, the call to action is amazing. When you tell people what to do on video, they actually do it. So that would be the two that aren't SEO related. And the last one, being SEO, works absolutely phenomenally. I've been teaching people how to use video and SEO for at least the last 2 years. And it's probably one of the fastest way to get a top listing in Google that I know of. My personal best, I've had a #1 listing in 7 minutes.
Wow.
So that's pretty cool.
Not only cool, but very impressive.
Yeah, people are very impressed when I take a video and I get them an actual listing, and they can look at it 10 minutes later. That's pretty impressive. And I actually did that for Eric Lawholm. He's a sales trainer. I took one of his videos for sales scripting techniques and blasted it out there, did my thing, and I actually got him like 9 out of 10 of the top 10 listings with a single video.
Wow.
So video is very, very powerful for SEO.
That's amazing. And I want to say something here before we get into some more things. For those of you that are watching, I hope that you have got lots of lead in your pencil or lots of ink in your ink pens, because you need to be taking some notes. Let me tell you, what John is going to cover tonight in this brief amount of time is going to be absolutely phenomenal. We are just jazzed. We're so jazzed. So I want to ask you this. As far as a mailing list, how do you use video to increase your mailing list?
Okay, well, that's a good one, because what you do is you can create little short videos and you put those on your opt-in pages. And what that does, it immediately grabs their attention and demands it, and it captivates people and really holds them to it, holds their attention into that video. And that just works so much better than text. And the call to action, like I mentioned before, that's the big thing with an opt-in box. A lot of people, what they used to do is they'd say, join my mailing list. Well, that kind of went out the window about 10 years ago. The whole idea of getting on somebody's mailing list, that was exciting when the internet first came out. Remember the old thing with guest books? Everybody wanted to sign the guest book.
Oh, yeah.
And then next thing, they're starting to get spam because they're signed in on a guest book. Well, same thing with opt-in pages for newsletters and all that stuff. But when you come on with a video and you're actually explaining what you can do for them and telling them why they should opt in, it's so much more powerful than just saying, opt in and receive my newsletter.
Well, that makes sense. That makes sense. And so when you're talking about doing a short snippet video like that, you're saying keep it under 2 minutes, minute and a half, 2 minutes, something like that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, as far as like opt-in videos, you want them to be really short. You want them to be to the point. And it's just like when you put an opt-in box, it's not a sales page. So the whole idea is just to get their name and email address. So it's kind of like a little teaser, a little enticement. You give them just enough to know that they want more. And what they say is you give them very good information, but incomplete, or useful, but incomplete.
Kind of like a cliffhanger.
To get the rest. Yeah, exactly. To get the rest, they've got to opt in. And it's one of the strongest calls to action there is, because you're actually audio visually telling them what to do. So chances are they're going to do it.
And I think it's a little more powerful also that they see that there is a live human, breathing that is running this whole thing. It's not just a bunch of words and a static picture with a signature at the bottom that people are used to seeing. So they can see exactly how you move, your voice inflections, and the energy that comes from you as you're talking. So yeah, video is very dynamic and very positive. So you've talked about how to use video on the opt-in page, and great question, Kathy. I'm so glad you brought that up about the length of the video on the opt-in page. Now let's transition. Let's say they've opted in and you're going to now direct them over to your sales page. Do you use video on your sales page? And if so, how do you change that up?
Absolutely. And that's kind of been the newest craze here over the last couple of years. All the internet marketers now, you can kind of watch them. These guys are really good at conversion. And whatever they're doing it for a reason. Well, they went to video a couple of years ago. So I knew by watching what they do, these are the guys that really know how to close the deal. So I figured, hey, that's got to be the hot ticket, so let's try it out. And sure enough, video on a sales page, it's extremely powerful because it allows you to explain the benefits. And like you said, even if you're not on the video doesn't have to have a face on it. It doesn't have to be a talking head at all. It can actually be a slideshow with a voiceover. But just having your voice on there and describing your product, or, if you don't like your voice, it's no big deal. Just write the script and have somebody do a voiceover for you. So really allows you to show and feature your product or your service and show what the action of it does and show the benefits. And the big thing really is the benefit of the benefit. So if you can get into that more or less, that really is what's going to sell your product. And it's just like having a salesman. If you have a salesman, you're going to get a lot more sales than if you don't, because they're there promoting your product and telling people about it, overcoming their objections. And a really good video will overcome all the objections because it will raise those issues and go ahead and address them and get them out of the way. So a good video on a sales page is just like having a really good salesman, only he doesn't get tired. He doesn't call in sick. He doesn't get the measles. None of that stuff happens with a sales video. You get this thing cut and dried and it's in place and it's ready to go. It'll work forever, tirelessly. So that's a really cool thing. And again, when you get to the end of that sales video, people always want to know what to do. So you can just physically tell them. The call to action is incredible. You literally tell them what to do. And if you keep it simple and you follow, like Frank Kern, I don't know if you guys know about Frank, he's like one of the biggest internet marketing gurus around. And he has like a 3-step process. And in any of his sales pages, it's basically, here's the 3 steps. It's here's what I've got. You explain what you have. Second step is here's what it's going to do for you. That's the benefits and the benefits of the benefits. And then the third step is here's what you do next. And he basically walks you through the close. He walks you through the order process. Here's what you need to do next. Fill out the order form, and then yada, yada, yada. This is what's going to happen. So people, their fear of not knowing what's on the other side, all that's removed. Again, it's bringing up the objection, addressing it, removing it. And you can't do that with text. There's no way you'd get that accomplished with text. So,
yeah, it doesn't have the same feel. Like you can, although I've got to say for me, when I look at the slide and listen and I'm progressing through a page like that, as opposed to seeing the individual talking and the video and progressing through, I still feel the same kind of warm and fuzzy with either as compared to just text pages like you're saying. So it doesn't matter to me whether or not I can actually see the individual or if I can hear their voice leading me through the process. I still feel better than when I look at text. I'm like that too. It's like, I don't know, it just doesn't do it for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we all have that. We get bored with stuff. Nobody wants to read. It's like work. We
Exactly.
want somebody to tell us a story.
Maybe that's what it is. It's like work.
Yeah. Heck yeah. We want to sit back and have somebody tell us a story.
Exactly. Well, let me ask you this. How does video work with search engine optimization? I mean, how do they work and coincide with each other?
Okay, well that's really my specialty. The rest of it's just kind of some of the real benefits of video, but SEO, that's really my deal. That's my cup of tea, so to speak. And the reason that video works so well with SEO is 2 reasons, basically. For one, you've got the video sites. They're very authoritative. Any content on a video site, the search engines love. So basically, like YouTube, I'll use YouTube as an example because we all know it, but there's about 80 different video sites out there. Some of them are actually more powerful than YouTube as far as SEO goes, but for the sake of this, just to keep it, short and sweet, we'll just talk about YouTube here. So YouTube is a very authoritative site. Google is on YouTube constantly because it looks as a news feed. It considers YouTube as a news feed. So it wants to be up to date. It wants the most current information. So that's what makes that site authoritative. And what happens is you go on there and you upload a video, and now you own a page on YouTube. So you actually own that real estate. And when you place your content on that authoritative source, Google's on it like almost instantly. They're scanning that site constantly for new content. So when they find your video, if you've got your video tagged so they can tell what it's about, the search engines will actually show up and it'll place your video up high on the searches. In many cases, #1. So
Wow.
that's really the power of it. And the other thing is the video sites can actually help your website raise in the ranking too, because now you can have a video site that's very authoritative that links back to your site. And then the really cool thing is taking multiple videos, and each video can be on a different keyword. So if you want to score for 20 keywords and you make 20 videos, that video can be scoring all over the place. It's like every time you upload a video, you're creating real estate out there on the internet. That real estate can all rank in the search engines. And each one of those videos has a chance to take a top 10 listing. That's one of the things that we show how to do, is how to get that and get multiple listings. That's why we call our training SEO dominators. We can literally dominate the search engine with just video alone. We got many other tricks, but video is a really cool one.
I have a specific.
That's amazing. Are you saying the same? You're saying a multitude of videos, they're all on the same topic? They're not the identical video, right? But all on the same topic, and then
well, imagine this. I mean, taking one video,
okay.
you put it on YouTube, and let's say you get a #1 listing. Now you go over to another video site like Rever, you put the same video on Rever, and you take the #2 slot. Take the same video, go over to Live Feed Web, put it on their video. Again, you got a #3 slot. So you can literally use the same video on multiple different websites that do video, and you can get, you can literally take all the slots. It's that clean and simple.
Well, let me ask this question really quick, Brian and John. So it does not behoove us then to take one video and upload that one video to a multitude of sites? It's better to do them separately?
No, you take the same video and you want to upload it to all those sites, because you want all that possibility to get to the top 10. And in many cases, the same video shows up in the top 10 on different websites. So every time you put it on a different website, it has another opportunity to take a top 10 listing. Does that make sense?
It does. So you are, yes, and if we wanted like some more advanced information on kind of where I think I'm going with that, then that's the kind of stuff that you tell about at the SEO Dominators, right?
Yep, exactly. And it's not that I don't even tell you about it. I let you see me do it.
I love it.
Are you serious?
It's all video, and you're actually watching me do it. So all you have to do is just do what I do and watch, and turn around and do it yourself.
That's pretty cool. We've got somebody here asking a question, John. They're saying, okay, what would be your top 10 favorite video sites?
Oh boy, the top 10. You know what? I use Traffic Geyser to upload to these. So it just loads them all up. The top 10 are the ones that score the best in the search engine at any given time.
So you don't pick favorites. It just kind of falls in where it falls.
Yeah, but certainly like Rever is a really good one. Live Video is a really good one. Google Video, Yahoo Video, of course YouTube. That's the big 900-pound gorilla. Those are kind of the top ones that come to mind.
Okay.
Now
thank you. We appreciate that.
You talked about keywords briefly there, and I've always had this burning question, and maybe you can answer it. And I'm talking about the tags or keywords that are entered that go along with, in addition to or separate from the description of the video. Do you have a rule of thumb per se on how many keywords to enter per video? or does it matter?
Oh, good.
Yes. Yes, you want to focus on one keyword per video.
No way.
Wow.
Now, in the tags, you can use multiple keywords, but you want to kind of keep them tightly related. You don't want them all over the place. The video really should be very focused and very specific to one keyword, and that's where you want to put it in the title. The title is what the search engine looks at to see what the page is about. So if you put, like, let's say you put 3 keywords in the title, and when I say keyword, I'm talking about a phrase.
Okay.
So, you know, it might be like wisdom tooth removal. That would be a keyword. So when I'm talking about keywords, if you put 3 of those keywords in the title, what you did was you didn't increase your chance, you just diluted your potential.
Gotcha.
So let me ask you this. So if it's Fred doing a video, right? The title shouldn't be Fred's best video.
No, not at all.
I mean, so if Fred's talking about how to basket weave, he's not going to put Fred's best videos, and then you're going to put the basket weaving down in the description, right? You're going to put like basket weaving up in the title, correct?
Exactly. And if you had to mention Fred, you might put like basket weaving by Fred. Fred would be the last thing on the list to show up in the title. So
okay,
yeah,
then
those titles, that really is what the search engine looks at to decide what that page is about. And then it looks at the authority of that page based upon, you know, a few different criteria. But it basically adds up all the sites in the world to try and decide who's the most authoritative site for this subject. And if you're on YouTube, you're riding on top of all of their authority. And in many cases, that will beat out all the other pages that are there, especially in weak markets. Now, you might not get this to go like this if you go into a real high competition market.
Right.
But there's still ways to drive your videos up. You just have to work to make them a little more authoritative than they already are, just coming off of YouTube and Rever and Live Video and all these big video sites.
Well,
wow. We just had a couple more questions come in.
Okay. I always draw some questions.
I know. Well, we've got someone asking, how do you keep the rankings once you get them on Google?
Good question.
Okay. Yeah. One way to keep rankings up there is to trickle links to the pages, because that's the biggest thing right now is links. And just by nature of how many links are going to the domain name YouTube and all these other videos, that carries a lot of weight. But this is another way, like if you do your video and it lands on page 2, it didn't quite make it to page 1. If you want it to go to page 1, all you have to do is just throw a few links at it. Get other sites to link to your video page. So as you see your video page losing popularity or others are kind of beating it out, you can go ahead and push it back up to the top just by throwing some new links at it. Like go over and post on a blog somewhere and put a link to the video. You can actually link to your video from your own site. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. But that's what it really takes, is links make things go to the top, because that brings authority, and you know, that'll move them right up the ladder real quick. So
awesome.
Well, for clarification, where exactly would you put those links that you're talking about that you would add?
The links, basically where they would go is anywhere that you can go out on the internet and put a link back to a web page.
Okay, so you're talking like backlinks. Gotcha.
Yes, backlinks, exactly.
Okay.
And one key factor to that is you want to make sure that the anchor text, and this is the clickable text part of the link, make that your keyword. If that keyword matches the title of your thing, it's like bing, 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 bonus points.
I'm loving the bing, bing, bing.
Yeah. Bring it.
Like all the lights flash and, you know, bonus time.
Hey, before we forget, I wanted to mention to everyone watching either live or later on the recording that you can get in contact with John directly if you just click right on his nose right above us, not on the live video feed, where he's sitting there stoically in the picture above us. That will take you to his Facebook page, and you could contact with him there. Also, down below us, you see a banner for SEO Dominators. Kathy and I are recent members of his and his membership club, and highly, highly recommend it. John, I was absolutely blown away, literally, by the amount of content you have there for folks to look at while they're waiting for your next weekly live training call. So it's an unbelievable cache of information that, you know, for SEO is an ever-evolving, ever-changing technology. It involves so many things that I remember years ago, all these weird tricks that were allowed to be performed in order to get SEO rankings up that are no longer allowed, and it's always changing and always moving. So if you have somebody like John who's keeping his finger on the pulse at all times, all you have to do is become a member of SEO Dominators. Click on that link below and get hooked up with that. As we move on, though, you know, we're talking about videos and how we get traffic now, and how do we, you know, linking something from that video to our own site. How do you actually get the video site to link to your site that you wish it to go to for that traffic, and why would they allow you to do that?
Okay, perfect. Well, the video page where you upload your video, that's really your page. So you have a room to put a description there, and that's where you put the link back to your own site. The way you do that is some of the sites are different. Some of the sites will actually let you put an anchor text link, but most of them don't. So if you don't know how to do that, it's no big deal. What you do, though, and this is a trick especially for YouTube, if you want that link to be hot and linked to your site, you have to put it to be the first word in your description has to be your URL. Ooh. And it has to be the complete URL. It starts with HTTP and then ://yourdomain.com. You know, and you can also link to a sub page as well if you want the link to go back there. But you don't have to ask permission for that. It's your page, and you can do whatever you want with that description. So you're in control of that content. And what happens is when you put it on YouTube and it's the first thing in the description, they know to make it live. It's a live link. It's not an anchor text link, so it's not like the best cream of the crop link, but it does give you a good link back to your site that takes a lot of link juice and authority to your site. A better way to do it is some of the different video sites will actually let you put HTML in their description, and that lets you do that anchor text link. So that's where you get the bonus points. But still, you know, I'll take a link from YouTube to my site any day of the week, because that just, you know, that's YouTube telling Google that my site's important. So good stuff.
If you don't mind, could you expand a little bit on exactly what an anchor text link is for those that may not know?
Sure, absolutely. An anchor text link is when you see a link in text, it's usually underlined and it's a different color and you can click on it. Well, the clickable part of the text is the anchor text of the link. So if you made it like let's say a lot of people will say click here to visit my site, and the click here is underlined, that doesn't do you any good because you're telling the search engine that your site is about click here. So when they get to your site, they're expecting to see click here and they don't see it, so they're like, oh, well, this is just a so-so association. But if they see, you know, click here for the ultimate dog training videos, and dog training videos is underlined and clickable, when Google follows that link and they see a site that has about dog training videos and it has dog training videos in the title again, now you've got all those bonus points working in your favor. So that's like the best quality link that you could get. Even if it's from a low quality site, that's the best quality link. Now, if you couple that link with a high priority site, now you're talking some really heavy stuff. So that's what you ultimately want to shoot for.
That's amazing. We've got somebody else here that's asking another question, John. And the question is, what would you have as far as optimizing for a video for local search? Do you have anything that you want to share on that?
Oh God, local search is so easy, it's ridiculous. If you took the video and you optimized it for a local search term, I can almost assure you you're going to get top listings right out of the gate. There's so little competition in local search terms. And what a local search term is, it's like if you took that normal term, that dog training video, for instance, and you added Huntington Beach to it. Dog training videos in Huntington Beach. Now that's your keyword phrase. That's what you're trying to score in the search engines for. So that's a local type term. And hardly anybody's competing. And that's a real treasure right now, is nobody's figured out. All these businesses, they're all going for the high competition stuff. They're all beating each other up and killing each other, and they're not getting to the top on anything. So if you take advantage of these, these local words, they're also considered low-hanging fruit, because it's just, it's the fruit hanging right in front of you. You can just grab it or pick it up off the ground. You don't have to climb the top of the tree and risk life and limb to get something to eat. So local stuff it's awesome.
Well, that does sound pretty easy from what you're saying. We've got somebody else that's asking, what tools do you use to submit them? So other than Traffic Geyser, because you had mentioned Traffic Geyser, I don't know if this individual was on when you had mentioned that. Is there anything beyond that you would be willing to share on this call with viewers?
That's really the only one I use, and there's reasons for why I use it that would take too long to get into, but it does a lot of things that you're not seeing that I would do manually if I were to do it by hand, and it just automates the entire process. There are other ones. There's one called Tube Mogul. A lot of people use that, but they're really restrictive. They won't allow you to do commercial submissions, and that's what we're all doing. We're all doing commercial submissions here. So let's not kid ourselves. You're going to get kicked out of there eventually.
Yeah.
Traffic Geyser, it's made as a commercial tool, so that's what I use.
Perfect. Thank you for that. Go ahead, Brian. What's up next?
We're talking about how video causes such a phenomenal ranking. It's so quickly in search engines. Why does video get such fast results as opposed to just putting up, say, a blog page with a whole bunch of keyword-rich content? What makes video better, and how does it get up there faster?
It's all back to that whole newsfeed thing. And because they've got so much new content on these video sites, they're really considered like news feeds. Blogs used to be, Google used to look at blogs because people would update them, but that really kind of went out the window when blogs got overused. But the news feeds or video sites are still considered news feeds, and that they deliver some incredible fast content on the search engines. Like I said, my personal best for a top listing was 7 minutes.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's mind-blowing.
Yeah, that's it was funny. I was doing one for a client, and I called him up and I said, I just submitted your video. I said, why don't you just type this keyword in Google and see what you get? And he was at the top, and I could tell. He was doing the jig on the other end of the line. So,
who wouldn't be, right? Goodness.
So, and with that being said, you have generated some large dollar numbers for some of the clients that you've worked with. So for you to open yourself up, and now with the SEO Dominator Club that you have, and actually help individuals on a group basis and also one-to-one, the way you do is just fantastic. The other thing that I want to say about this, oftentimes, and I know Brian will agree, that there are people out there that say, I over deliver, and I give you a lot of great content. Have to tell you this, and from what Brian said earlier, and after being into John's sites in the information in the back office, this man absolutely over delivers. He gives everything, and it's incredible. Should be commended for that, John. Not a lot of people give that kind of information. They tend to hold some of it close to the vest because they don't want some of that information getting out. And that's something that you share freely, and it's greatly appreciated being on the other side. So I just wanted to throw that in. But, we've been talking a lot about video and what it does on a positive note. What are the downsides of using video?
Good.
Well, the biggest one, the number one downside to video is fear. Most people are afraid of video. They're afraid to use it. And I got to tell you, I was one of them. I steered away from it for a long time. But when I realized the potential to do SEO and get video results on the search engines, I'm like, okay, time to get over the fear. So, one of the things, some of the stuff that people are afraid of is they're afraid of the expense, for one. They don't know what kind of equipment. They think they need really expensive gear. And, maybe they're afraid they don't have the knowledge, and, they think it takes a lot of video knowledge and editing knowledge and all that stuff. So, the skills that are required, that's a big fear. The equipment, the cost. And the big one, the one that was probably the biggest hurdle for me was I didn't want to be on the video. It's like, nobody's going to want to look at me. And, that's the biggest hurdle and the biggest fear. So it's, if you can get over that stuff, then, you're in good shape, because video is really powerful, and it's worth getting over any fear that you have of it to use it.
Okay, well, maybe let's move on into then, how does one get past that scare factor and the fear that comes along with all this? Because you mentioned quite a few areas that could construe as being hurdles. Fear of being in front of a camera, that's like fear of speaking. That's a big one. How do you get over that?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll show you how to create videos. Make all the videos you want. You don't have to have a video camera. You don't have to have fancy lighting. You don't have to have video skill. You don't have to have editing skill. And the biggest one, I'll show you how to do it without ever being in front of the camera.
Oh my goodness.
That's what I show people in the Dominator Club, and that's what I'm going to share with you guys here tonight.
Well, I just have to interject this. There was a period of time that I didn't like being on the camera either, so I actually created this kind of character. I don't know if you remember the Unknown comic from back in the 70s.
Oh, yeah.
But I actually took a bag from the grocery store. I think it said Safeway on the side, and cut holes in the mouth, put eyelashes and lips, and that's how I videotape myself in my pajamas. I did like take 37 with just me in front of the camera, put the bag over my head, man, and I'm telling you what, I was like, take one, I was out of there.
Oh, you should have seen these, John. They were great. Using catchphrases like, it's in the bag, and then she would have little miniature bags, and those were her kids. She'd be holding her little kids. It was hilarious. Had a lot of great stuff on that.
That's how I kind of got past that block. It was scary, when you think about who's on the other side watching you, But what I want to say about what you just said, no this, no that, it's really easy, don't have to have a camera. So that sounds rather impossible to me, but amazing as well. So how do you pull that off?
Okay, well, my secret ninja website that I use for that is called Animoto. So everybody talks about their ninja tools. Well, this is my ninja tool for creating video, and it's animoto.com. And what the site does, it allows you to take still images and upload them, or just simple text and upload that, and it creates like an animated slideshow. And you don't really even have to have your voice if you put text on the pages, because it can just be like a guided slideshow that goes through, and it really creates professional and spectacular videos. And a really cool way to do that is, if you don't have images, what you can do is, that's not even a problem. What you do is you just open up PowerPoint or whatever, sometimes on the Mac there's different programs, but I'm on the PC, so I use PowerPoint, and I'll just create a PowerPoint presentation. And then what you do is you go to export and you save it as images. And it'll take all the images, each screen, it will turn into an image and put it into a file. And now you've got all these beautiful images to load up to Animoto. So problem solved. There's your video. If you want your voice on it, what you can do is you can use the recorder that's in your computer, and you can record a voiceover, and then you just upload that voice file up to Animoto, and then it'll lay the track in perfectly. If you don't want to do that, if you just want cool music as a background, Animoto has about 1,000 different royalty-free music tracks that you can just browse through, listen to them, select the one that goes with your theme, and just you know, then they put the music right to the background. And it's really just an awesome video that it creates. It spits out a high quality professional video, and you know, you can basically take that, download it, and then you've got your video to upload to all these video sites.
Yeah, I got to tell you, we've actually used Animoto extensively, and for those of you that joined us on the beginning of the show, you probably noticed that our opening intro video was 100% generated through Animoto. And like everything John says is true, and you can also get images, stock images from that site as well, and they're royalty free. They're already on the website. You just go select the ones you want, and whatever makes sense with the theme of your video, you just slap them in there. It is a magical tool, how it generates a video with the music, and it puts it in time, and the transitions are seamless. It's unbelievably easy. Can't recommend it higher. You're absolutely correct, John. And you know what? Just one more thing is, you're talking about the short videos and an opt-in page. That's exactly what I used. This is going back probably 5, 6, 7 months, and did a quick 1 to 1.5 minute video using nothing more than Animoto. And I grew a list with very little effort to 1,000 people, opt-in list in 1 month. So it does work. It works very well.
Well, you know, and the other thing, I'm excited because I didn't know you could do a voiceover.
Yeah, you can upload your own voice file. Absolutely.
That's exciting.
Yeah, you know, if you want the intro music, you just kind of do that all in one file and just load it up, and away you go.
So, by the way, you had mentioned your ninja program. Well, there was a couple of people on here that said John is a ninja. I think so. Kind of like stealthy, right? I mean, it's like you've got some pretty cool moves. And somebody else is saying, asking, which software do you recommend to track all your visitors to show your clients, and why?
You know, I really don't get into the tracking too much. Usually the clients are doing that all on their side. I'm just pushing the traffic to them. I'm just getting them the listings. And what I use to show that is web position. So.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot more proof needed than if they're, you know, placing on the first page of Google. I think it's successful if they get that. You know, the number of raw hits and unique visitors is kind of unimportant when you see you're on the first page. Who cares about all the noise, so to speak?
Well, you know what I want to ask? I want to ask if John will share some of his coolest video tricks with us.
Yes.
Absolutely. One of them, have you guys noticed when you see the little icon? Every video has an icon. And most people don't know where that icon image comes from.
Oh, you mean the thumbnail?
And it's actually, yeah, the thumbnail.
Okay.
Yep. Some people call it an icon, a thumbnail, whatever. What that is, it's the exact middle frame from the video. So if you think about it, you could interject a really cool image right in the middle of your video that's only on there for a fraction of a second. So nobody would really see it or recognize it or notice it, but it would show up as that video icon. And I say kind of make that a sexy image.
Because people will tend to click on it.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Or if you want your logo or, you know, whatever you want it to be, if you put it in the center, then it will show up as that. And, you know, a video that has a cool thumbnail image gets a lot more clicks than one that just has, you know, some bizarre thing that doesn't mean anything.
Interesting. Okay.
So that's a really good trick most people don't know about, and they call that a ninja trick when I tell them. Another one is at the end of the video, you always put a trailer, and the trailer should always lead them back to your website. Like, you know, for more information, visit, and then put your website address. What you want to do is you want to use a long trailer. Like if your video might only be 10 or 15 seconds, but you want to add like 30 seconds worth of that trailer onto the end of it, because that gives them enough time to actually type in the address or click on it and go to your website. If you don't do that, what happens is your video ends, and a lot of times an advertisement will come up or another video. So you want to avoid that. You want to move them off that video site and onto yours before that happens. So long trailers is a big key.
Wow.
Another thing is you always want to have a call to action in your trailers. And even if it's visit our website, you know, you need to tell them to do something or they won't do anything. So one thing, I don't know if you guys have heard of Charles Trippy, but he did a video series of how to make viral videos. And one of the things I thought was just absolutely hilarious was he did that strong creative call to action, and then he left his website address up there for a long time.
Right.
And after about 10 seconds, he would come and he'd poke his head into the side of the screen, and he'd say, "What are you still doing here?" You know, he'd get his face right up in you. He'd go, "Go ahead, click the link," or, you know, he'd just do crazy stuff. And one of the things, you know, he would do that every couple minutes. He'd come back. He'd go, "You guys still here? What are you doing?" You know, he'd just do weird stuff. And that was one. The one that I liked the best was it came back and it showed him nodding off in his chair, and then all of a sudden he goes over and he just crashes. And then he comes back and he goes, "Oh, you guys weren't supposed to see that. You're already supposed to be gone." So that's some really cool stuff. You know, if you want to get creative, you can do that kind of thing. The other thing is, this is a really cool one. If you want your video to go viral and you want a lot of people to see it, you need to get it on the hot list. And the way to do that is, once you upload your video, get a bunch of your friends and coordinate with them and have them all click and watch the video at the same time right after it's loaded up. If you can get at least 5 people within the first 5 minutes of that video being online, that tells the video site, "Hey, this is a popular video. We should feature it." So it can get on the hot list. If it gets on the hot list, it can really go viral. And that's where you'll get these videos where you see them and, you know, they've got 1 million views. That's how they did it.
Well, you know, some of those I see, John, and I'm like, why would that many people even watch some of them? So they may have started out like that, and then they just become viral because people see it and see the numbers and they think, oh, it's going to be good. Or maybe because they interjected that little middle thumbnail thing and that kind of perpetuated it as well. I don't know.
Yeah, you can be assured they're using some ninja tricks.
Some SEO dominators ninja tricks. Well, that's
the last.
He's got something else up his sleeve, I can tell.
Yeah. Bring it.
So that's the last one I'd throw out here just before we move on is, you can actually respond to other people's videos. You know how you can type in and you can comment? Well, you can also use a video response, and you can actually leave that comment in a video form, and the video stays at the top. All the comments go below. So you can ride on the coattails of somebody's very popular video and have your video response right there. So that's a cool thing.
That's a very cool thing. That's a simple thing, like you said, ride the coattails, find someone who's very highly ranked and do a video comment. But, you know, of course, make it pertinent to, you know, comment to their video about their topic. Don't just come on and say, "Hey, come to my website and buy my stuff." Because don't they have to approve those, the actual owner of the site, of that page?
No.
Oh, no?
No,
Okay.
you can do video comments on anything.
Wow.
Wow.
Now, you're sharing a lot of stuff that really, quite honestly, shocks me, because this is stuff that I wouldn't expect someone like you, who has a membership site and a very well-to-do service for high-end clients. You're giving away what I consider to be industry secrets, and that just makes me that much, want that much more to dig in deeper to your SEO Dominators Club website and membership, because I know you're not giving away the farm. No one would ever do that. So there's got to be something. You've got me completely. They call it a Gazarnik effect, where you leave them hanging. It's like, man, I know there's some gold underneath that membership site. So I'm gonna have to check that out. And everybody, check that out beneath us, SEO Dominators. Click on that link and definitely sign up for that membership, because this is unbelievably valuable information. Anyone that wants to do business online and wants traffic to their website, even if you are brick and mortar. You saw, as John just explained earlier, that he can get you on local searches, and he will show you how to do it to get customers to come to your brick and mortar by putting a video up and making it a local search keyword rich title. Now, we've talked about video, and you gave us some great video tricks. Now let's move into some of your best search engine optimization or SEO tricks. You have any of those you'd like to share with us?
Oh, absolutely. That's really what it's all about.
All right.
And we'll keep this strictly to video.
Okay.
But I got 9 things here to share with you about how to make your videos SEO optimized.
Wow. Okay.
The number one, the biggest one here, and this is really a key factor, is that you use that keyword in the title, like that we talked about.
Okay.
That's the big one. So next one is that you actually name the video. A lot of people have video 000.mpg or whatever. You want to remove that, and you want to actually name your video whatever your keyword is so it matches your title. And you can't leave spaces, so you can put a dash or what have you, but it should be whatever your keyword is. That should be the name of your actual video.
Okay, real quick, to clarify that, you mean the actual file name that it's saved under, right? Like,
yes.
Like myvideo.wmv or .mp4 or .w, all the different types of file types, but give it a good file name. I didn't know that one. I didn't know the file name was that important.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's just another key to the optimization.
Goodness.
Wow.
Now, the other one, and we had mentioned this earlier, is place your complete link to be the first word in your description. That way it'll be hot on all the websites.
Okay.
The next is, in your actual description, you want to use your keywords in the description. And you don't want to use the same keyword over and over and over, but you can use variations of it. So it should be very tightly related. And that leads me to the next one, which is your tags. And every video site will allow you to put tags in there. And that's how they identify it for their own internal search engine. So that's how you tell the video site what your site's about, so you can come up in their search.
Ah.
So again, you don't want to use a lot of tags. I usually keep it to like 3, and I make sure they're all very closely related. Like maybe a plural, a non-plural, and then a different version.
Okay.
So that's number 5. Number 6 is, kind of back to that one, only use a few keywords and keep them very, very relevant. Now, it's number 7. This is definitely a ninja trick here, and you want to pay close attention to this one.
Okay.
When you're on the video site, there's an embed code where you can place the video on your own site.
Right.
So you want to do that. Put the video on your own site somewhere, and then put a link back to the video page. This will give that video page a lot of juice, and there you can put the anchor text link, make it match the title, put it right below the video. So your embed code goes in, and then your anchor text link goes right behind it inside of center tags. I don't know what it is about that, but the search engines eat that alive.
I don't know, John. I'm hearing, John and Brian, I'm hearing bang, 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 bang.
Cha-ching.
That's about as much Bing as you're gonna find.
Woohoo! Wow.
So, and another one, here's another thing. If you do use all those video sites, one thing is a lot of them will moderate your first couple of videos. Like, they look to see what you're putting up, and they don't like commercial stuff. So just make a couple of cool, fun videos and upload those first so your account gets seasoned. Then you can come back and put your commercial videos in. But if you open up like a brand new YouTube account and you put a commercial video up,
Right.
sometimes it'll get through, and sometimes they'll just shut your account down and reject it altogether. Not so much on YouTube, but on some of the others. So what I recommend is just make a couple of cool, funny videos or whatever, you know, shoot your family, whatever you got to do. But put it up, make it non-commercial. No trailers on the end, none of that stuff. Just put it up just for the sake of putting up a video.
We could all just be like Kathy and put a bag over our head.
Exactly. You know, and then once your account is seasoned, then you can come back. And this brings us back to the last one, and this is using Traffic Geyser. And I hope this doesn't get censored, but I'd say syndicate the shit out of them.
Oh, sorry.
Well, hey, I'm going to tell you what. You have given such amazing content tonight. I'm not sure who Blue Coyote is, but they put on here, just joined, exclamation point. So they just joined the SEO Dominators. Very, very, very exciting. And no, it's not going to be censored. I mean, you know, that's
awesome.
That is like very cool. I mean, that's all part of it.
I'm going to have to work on that.
My heart is like racing. I am so excited. My mind's just like pinging around, and I know Brian's is too. I can tell by the look in his eye.
Oh, yeah.
He cannot get off and use some of this really cool stuff that you've shared with us tonight, John. Absolutely amazing. But you're not going to believe it. The time has come, as it does every Tuesday, and this is like the, you know, we're talking about cliffhangers, right, with the video. Well, this is the cliffhanger, and it has nothing to do with anything but the fact that our hour has ended. Dang it. So it means one of two things. You either come back sometime next year, because that, you know, that's not too far off, or everybody clicks on the SEO Dominator down below, and they join you, and they find out before you come back on the next time. But I just
I'm happy to join you again.
Yeah, we'll definitely.
I am so excited that we wanted a bologna and cheese sandwich or whatever it was that day in Subway. What a pleasure to have met you and to be connected with you. In fact, maybe that's what we ought to do when we all three get together. You know, that should be the gig. You know, we'll meet at a Subway. But
we'll do our next video.
Thank you so much for sharing with us and with our viewers. It is so appreciated. Thank you, thank you. I'm going to turn you back over to Brian here, because we're just getting past the hour.
Yeah, you know, could literally go another hour. No kidding. This is so down Kathy and my alley. But real quick, I know we're over the time, and for those that can't hang, I can understand that. But so you know a little bit about John, and from our vantage point, from Kathy and I, we don't know this gentleman that well, but he really, really impressed us. Not with, you know, a lot of glitz and glamour and I'm the best and none of this self-glorifying persona. It was just the opposite. Very down to earth. He knows his stuff. He's very confident in it, but he's not to the point where you're like, ooh, you're just too into yourself. Not even close. This guy is genuine. We hit it off immediately, and on our way back, literally, John, from Subway, we were going, we got to have him on our show. This guy really is the real deal. And then, you know, we watched as we were in the event, taking a look over and seeing what you know, nodding to and saying no to as they were talking on stage. And he just really resonated with us. So I want folks to understand that this is a genuine individual, and you definitely want to hook up with him either through Facebook or through the SEO Dominators Club. But be sure to hook up with John. You can see he gave away, it seems like the farm. I can't wait to get back into the membership area. But we've gone way over, and I apologize, and I appreciate everyone for coming on to the show and watching and spending your time with us. We know you could be somewhere else. John, especially appreciate you coming on with us. And yes, we will have you back on, guaranteed, in the future. And Kathy, you just bring it all together, and thank you once again. What a great show. I'm just like, God, I got goosebumps. I literally do. It's not just because it's cold in here either. But I want to say thanks to both of you individuals and everyone that was on the show watching us live, and everyone who's watching us recorded afterward. We'd like to thank you too. But with that, we're going to have to sign off, and we will be back next week with another fantastic guest. So be sure to join us again. Go up there, click on the register link. Be sure you're on our notification list. We don't sell to this list. We just tell you when the next show is. So with that, we will see you all again next week. Bye-bye now.